This fixes your problems. And I don't just mean that the new Victorinox Companion, and this is the Sydney colorway by the way, that it fixes your problems on a day-to-day basis, but also for many people, this is going to fix their problems with Swiss Army knives in general. I'm sorry to interrupt this video, but I have to say something that I did not clearly enough say. With the Victorinox Companion, Victorinox has done a fantastic job of producing a multi-tool that natively appeals to women. The color and style make it look like it belongs with women's stuff. And as such, when you pick this up, it doesn't feel foreign or other or like it's for men. It feels novel, perhaps, but it's not foreign. And I think that's a huge difference. And honestly, I think this is a really big game changer for having multi-tools that really appeal to women from the get-go. But that's not where it stops, because I talk to a lot of women about multi-tools and Swiss Army knives, and I show them my Swiss Army knives, and they bring up several concerns on a regular basis that honestly this answers as well, and I'm going to get into that in the video, so let's go on. Now, there's two groups of people that kind of don't appreciate Swiss Army knives. Number one are the folks that feel like a Swiss Army knife is not enough. They need pliers and they need like bigger tools. Well, this won't fix those problems. But there is a huge, huge group of people that feels like they would never really want or need to carry something like this. And this Swiss Army knife definitely fixes those problems and answers those concerns. And to my surprise, I couldn't even find my Swiss Champ when I went to record this video. I don't remember the last time I carried this because since the Companion got here, I've been carrying it constantly. It does not have everything I need in every situation. In particular, it's missing a saw, which I do miss having, but all the other things it has is really making me dig this as my EDC. And I think that's gonna be true for a whole lot of people, and especially women. I have a whole video about why women don't like multi-tools, and you know, I think this answers a lot of those concerns. So let's start from the outside in and kind of talk about that. Because number one on the outside is appearance. You guys, when I bring out the Swiss Champ, people are like, they're kind of mocking or surprised in a negative way that I've brought out like this big tool, which does kind of make me laugh and I don't really care. But when I bring out this gorgeous looking Companion, people are like, ooh, wow, what's that? Like they're interested, it looks cute, and other women think that it looks cool. A friend of mine was over and I brought out a few different multi-tools, and she's a tool person. She's a total tool person. And she immediately gravitated to this, like, oh, that's cute. And she started telling me how these different colors would match different things that she likes to have. Like, it was a really interesting experience to me because out of everybody that I've introduced to this tool, I thought that she wouldn't be that into it, but even this like super tool girl was totally into the colors on this. It makes a huge difference. Another thing that people don't like about the way Swiss Army knives look is that they look like they're for a particular gender or a particular age group. And I mean men, and I mean old. I find myself having to interrupt myself again here because it sounds like I'm saying something against old men, and I need to be really clear. Old men have, in many cases, laid the foundation of what we're trying to build on here, and yet, by society and younger folks are being treated as irrelevant relics. It's hideous. It's a disgusting thing that our society is allowing right now, and I just really, I can't stand it. I have the utmost respect for so many old men that I know and those that I've met through this channel as well, who may be of any age, I don't know. But here's the deal. Nobody wants to have items that look like they're from someone else. And in addition, you know, because the old man category is so often being maligned and treated as less than, people are going to hesitate to throw in their lot to look like or feel like they're part of that group. And I'm sorry that it is that way, and if any of you out there identify as old men, know that lots of young people and middle-aged people like myself totally appreciate you and have your back. Okay, back to the video. And that is not necessarily what everybody wants to have. Even people who are perhaps old men don't necessarily want to look like the gear they carry fits into that category. Now, even though this and all of the companion knives in these cool scales are currently being like addressed towards women, and I think I can see why Victorinox is doing that. They're trying to introduce like a women's multi-tool, and then later they'll probably make some plain scales and kind of tone down that feminine like targeted message. I still think this is a great tool for men, but I think that Victorinox is trying to capture that female market, and I could not be more of a fan of this plan. I really believe in the power of carrying a, like one of these, a tool with you so that you can fix problems. It makes you feel confident. And this, honestly, so I can do less with this, but this hurts me less than it does to carry the Swiss Champ. Now, I'm not saying I like this more than the Swiss Champ. I could never give up my Swiss Champ. But like I said, I can't find it right now because I'm so into this. The other problem, or another problem people have with Swiss Army knives is they say that it's hard to carry. Well, Victorinox has tried to deal with that with this lanyard. Now, there's no pocket clip, but I would say few women want to carry a multi-tool in their pocket with a pocket clip anyway. This, on the other hand, gives you a neck carry option, which I got to admit, now this does totally work, and it sort of looks okay with some outfits, I suppose. I don't like it for safety reasons because I'm concerned that this is probably stronger than my neck, and if this were to get entangled in something, I'm not sure I would get it off of my neck before something really bad happened. So I'm not a huge fan of this from that perspective, but let me tell you what else I've discovered about this lanyard. Okay, so here is my tote bag. And yes, if anybody can see, this is from Marshall Field's, which used to be a big store in Chicago, and I think they've been closed for a while now, but I still have my cute tote bag from there. Check it out. So this is a pretty common thing to do with different, like your wallet or something like that. You just loop it around there, and then you can drop it in the tote bag. Then anytime you want your tool, you can pull it right out. And I gotta say, the color scheme on this, it just looks really good with this, doesn't it? I totally love it. Anyhow, this is a really easy way to carry the tool, and then you can either pull it out and use it like this, you can disconnect it at the handle there, or you can just disconnect it from the clip and go ahead and use it, then clip it back on. Now, moving on from the appearance issue, I think that a lot of women also maybe don't complain or don't care that much about the appearance of a multi-tool. It's not going to be making its appearance that frequently, but what they do really feel like is that its tool set's not matching what they would actually use on a regular basis. And for the most part, I think that Victorinox has knocked this out of the park. They have a couple things on here that I really don't think fit with this tool set, but I don't know that they could do anything else right now with the way their machinery is set up. So number one, I think a lot of people, I think I've heard this from men and women, don't really want to carry two knife blades on their Swiss Army knife because either they carry a separate knife and so they don't need two backups to that knife, or they really don't feel like they need two knives. This one, I like to have two knife blades because I use the small one so I can dull that one and then I can leave the big one sharp. But of course, this one has this famous package opener, and this is a really great tool. I have a whole video talking about all the ways I've used this to open packages, and now that I have this companion, I've used it a ton, and it really hasn't failed me. It's been very easy to use. So I think that this package opener tool and only one knife blade is a really good idea. A lot of people also say they have no need for a can opener, and while creative Swiss Army knife folk know that you can use the can opener for a lot of things, and a lot of people have sharpened them into a package opener. A lot of people use it as a way to hold your phone, like as a phone stand, and there's all sorts of other things that people do with their can opener. If you're not a Swiss Army knife person and you just look at the tool, it doesn't make any sense, right? And so getting rid of the can opener is a mark in Victorinox's favor. By getting rid of the can opener, replacing it with the package tool, and then only having the one large knife blade, Victorinox has fixed a couple other problems as well. One concern that people have with a Swiss Army knife is like, look, can you tell what all these are? Well, if you're watching this channel, you probably know what they all are. But if you haven't picked this tool up before, it's just a bunch of silver things and you aren't sure which one to pull to get which tool. You can unexpectedly pull out a knife and make yourself feel uncomfortable or worry that you're making others feel uncomfortable. And honestly, I kind of think that's a deal. I think people don't like that. I personally have scared myself by thinking that I have something else open on the knife or on the Swiss Army knife and discover it's actually a blade. I'm like, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Well, you're a lot less likely to do that here because the knife blade really does stand out. It sticks up, it's easy to see here, and you're unlikely to open that unexpectedly. Also, by getting rid of that second blade, you've allowed them to add, or they've allowed themselves to add, the nail file. This nail file is awesome, not just because it's a nail file, which I actually use extremely frequently, and a lot of people who comment on this channel say that they would use a nail file more frequently if they had one, or that they carry a type of Swiss Army knife that has a nail file because they like to use it to keep their nails clean. And it has the nail cleaner tip, which is like my favorite, but this also has another role. On my Swiss Champ, and I have my backup Swiss Champ here, one of the tools that I actually love the most is the one that everybody hates, and that is the fish hook disgorger and fish scaler tool. And the reason I love this is because it's like a poker. Like, I can use it to poke things, I can use it to scrape things, just little things I don't want to touch. I can use this to take care of it. I can also use this to adjust little things, like if I need to adjust a watch strap. Do I have one on right now? And I don't have one like that. But anyway, you can use this to adjust a watch strap or whatever that needs to have a little metal clip opened. This thing works for all of that same things. It is a pointy but not sharp object that you can use to accomplish different tasks that you don't want to use your fingers for. The other tool on here, of course, is the scissors. And obviously, Victorinox makes the best scissors. Everybody loves the scissors. It's an easy win. Now, the back layer is where things get a little confusing. I, for one, am actually a fan, and it's taken me a while to get there, but I am a fan of the parcel hook. And the reason I'm a fan is because you can use it to, like, take apart things. You can use it to actually undo knots if you're not going to use your corkscrew. You can use it to dig into, like, tied up grocery bags, and it's really good for pulling those apart. I've used it for actually carrying some things too, and like everybody does, yes, I've used it to tighten my bootlaces. But I actually think this is a pretty good tool, and it's a creative option that also lets you use this tool in other creative ways, as demonstrated by Felix Imler. And it can be used to hold the pen, all these things. The corkscrew, I think it's a better choice than the back layer Phillips for this tool, but I can't say that I would encourage people to open a lot of wine bottles with a corkscrew, unless, you know, it's a screw top wine bottle and you just have it with you. This is the one that doesn't make sense to me, you guys, the awl. I personally basically never use the awl. I know tons of people do use an awl and they love it, but I don't see the purpose of it on this tool. As far as the scale tools go, I adore the tweezers, and then having the pen is amazing. And I'm going to say, for the first time in my life, I get why the toothpick is on here. I get why this is on here, because this tool solves all your little annoyances. Like, almost everything I can think of that would be annoying during the day, like a physical annoying thing, this has something for you, right? Your nail is rough, you can smooth it, you can cut paper, you can cut open boxes with the package opener, you can tighten screws with the flat blade here and with the 2D Phillips, which is at the end of the package opener here. The hook, I think, is helpful as well. If you have something stuck in your teeth, I mean, it's gross, right? I have actually started using this on this knife because I am dedicated to using this for that everyday problem solver, but then it's kind of a pain because I have to go and wash it before I put it away, so that's a little bit annoying, but nonetheless, there's that. I find the pen really useful, and in a couple situations, it's the only pen I actually carry is a little Victorinox pen because it's good enough for the small amount of writing I do, and it costs me nothing in space or weight to carry it here. If you feel like a Swiss Army knife just doesn't fit with your stuff, maybe you can see, yeah, it'd be nice to have his scissors, you know, I can maybe carry a nail file anyway, it'd be nice to have this all in a smaller, easier to carry package. You guys, this is a great tool because it looks like it belongs with your stuff, right? My friend comes over to my house, she instantly gravitates to this because it's cute, the colors are pretty, and It's easy to notice, it's easy to admire, and it doesn't make you stand out in a negative way. It makes you stand out in a positive way. This really answers a lot of problems with Swiss Army knives, and I am a huge fan of the new Victorinox Companion. I feel like, and I think many people are going to feel this way, especially if they don't use a saw or a fish hook disgorger for any reason on a regular basis. They're going to feel like this is a multi-tool that meets their common everyday needs. Their needs in the office, at home, at the grocery store, in the car. This just meets the little needs that come up, the little things that bug you, and it's got your back. I really love that they are calling this the Companion, because that is what it feels like. It never lets you down. You don't pull it out and people look at you funny. You don't not have a tool that you need. It's not too small. It's not too large. It is just right. So, you know, I made this whole video about why women don't like multi-tools, and I feel like this answers so many of those questions, you guys. The holiday season is coming up. This is 75 bucks. I think it's amazing. I'm going to make another video about some alternative Swiss Army knives if you are interested in this, but you don't want to pay that premium price tag. Honestly though, they don't meet the same situation. They can't do the same things that this can do. The comfort this gives you, the lack of negative surprises, it is just a positive tool that seems like it has your back. Anyway, do let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you have one of these, how has it been received by others? Have you been enjoying using it? Is it actually meeting your everyday needs like I think that it's going to do for pretty much everybody? Now, before I go, I wanted to discuss where I've been carrying this for a couple weeks, and right over here, I don't think you can even see it. There's a little bit of marks there, but it didn't take off the color or anything like that. And then in here, you can see this, the black paint. I mean, charitably, we could call this patina, but in reality, the black paint is flaking off. So I'm kind of disappointed by that. I expect that the two other models, which instead of black paint have a matte finish, I expect that those will fare better. And finally, I did want to show you, I was wrong in my previous video. The color on here, the purple and yellow, does not wrap all the way around the edges. The edges are in fact this teal color there. At first it kind of bugged me, but it completely doesn't bug me anymore. I just think this thing looks so cute. I adore it. You guys, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to coming back at you with another Victorinox Companion video, and there may be more to come after that because I love this thing. Thank you for watching.